This week, WKBN Community Affairs Director Dee Crawford is talking with Lori Simmons, Youngstown's newest law director. And tonight, she shares her background and how she's tried to have a positive influence in our community.
Thank you for continuing to join me and Lori as we're talking about Black history and the role of mentoring. You and I understand the importance of individuals of color being appointed to the many boards in this community where decisions are being made that affect our lives to make this community better. That's always been the focus. So you had your start in children's services, dealing with issues of children and family. Where did you go next?
Well, after a while, my start was actually in the Mahoney County Juvenile Court. While I was there, I was on the mental health board, the Mentors for Tomorrow board, where Susan Moore was the director at the time, and just several other things involved in my church. From there, I went down to, I was assigned to the Court of Common Pleas for a couple of years, where I learned how to do a variety of things such as appellate work, grand jury, jury trials. And then they needed me to be assigned to Mahoney County Children's Services, where I was there for 20 years. And what I found is I needed to be able to mentor other students, for instance, from YSU, who needed to shadow me for a variety of reasons. And I saw a need to reach out to other people that were African American, because they just didn't understand how we needed their presence. Because a lot of the people that I encountered in court that were either delinquent children or families that were in trouble were African American. And they needed someone that looked like them to show them that they could achieve their goal of whether getting their children back or getting services for their delinquent child, whatever it was. And they had, they don't see that as much as they should.
And the other side of that too, Lori, is the disproportionate number of African-American attorneys in the city of Youngstown, in both the civil and the criminal division,
Yes.
where disproportionately we represent the high proportion of individuals coming before the criminal court. But the number of color, lawyers of color, who practice in this community is minuscule.
That is correct. And there's a lot of reasons, I think, for that. When you go to law school outside of the city of Youngstown, you encounter, especially in bigger cities, you encounter more African-American lawyers and judges, where that's just not present here. We currently have Judge Carla Baldwin, but there's no other African-American judge.
I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Dee Crawford, Community Affairs Director, WKBN.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Watson. Thanks for watching the WKBN 27 First News YouTube channel. If you want more video news, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the WKBN 27 First News app for breaking news alerts.